Good morning, Dr. Morse, injury experts. Let's talk about Nico Collins. He's had a fantastic start to the season, actually dating back to last season. He's been able to stay relatively healthy, but he deals with a little bit of an injury every year or so. And unfortunately, this one came up relatively early. Now, a couple weeks ago, he tweaked his hamstring in a Friday practice. Usually that's a bad sign. And traditionally, the player misses that week. Well, he didn't, and he played through it, and he played great. 2 weeks ago, played through it, played great, no issues. We're like, okay, the hamstring's behind him. Unfortunately, on his huge play in week 5, he tweaked that hamstring again. Because technically, that tissue is at increased risk for about 6 weeks after the hamstring strain. So he was only a couple weeks out of it, and the tissue wasn't completely ready to be healed yet. Initially, they said, oh, it's only day to day. Like, oh, great. Maybe he just tweaked it. Maybe, he's potentially okay for week 6 against the Patriots. But then yesterday, coach said, you know what? It's actually week to week, which makes a lot more sense because re-injuring a hamstring that was already injured, which is likely what happened, often leads to about 2 to 3 games missed. 2.3, I believe, is the average. So we're looking at week 6 against the Patriots, not overly concerning. Week 7 and potentially week 8, just depending on how his hamstring feels. Think about A.J. Brown, kind of a similar situation. He should come back this week, but given the bye, but similar situation. You'd rather him miss 2 games, possibly 3, and have no issues the rest of the season than him miss 2, re-injured again, and then miss a month, kind of like Keenan Allen did last year. With that being said, the target distribution after he left was interesting. We saw a lot of targets to Stephon Diggs and to Dalton Schultz, and some to Tank Dell. But then in the fourth quarter, Tank Dell was nowhere to be found. So I don't know what happened there, but I think it's going to be distribution between those two and Xavier Hutchinson, who may be a name to go get off the waiver wire, will also be there. Unfortunate news, classic nature of hamstring strains, but best case scenario, I think he comes back in week 7. More realistic, probably week 8. If you like this type of content, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up, subscribe, and check out some of my other content on the YouTube channel, on TikTok, and on Twitter.